Welcome to the Tree of Life tutorial part 2. This one was super annoying and no more. I've been doing it like 4 times. One time I didn't even have my mic on. It was disaster. But not every project you do will be amazing. As you've seen in the video, it was kind of a mess, and color-wise it was really, I don't really like it that much. Let's move on. I mean, I've done it and I tried it, and the one thing that you can take really from that is to see how the Taiao plugin, the new plugin from Insydium, works in action, and especially I've been using new technique using XPath follow surface to follow the surface of that tree. So we're basically starting from scratch today and we're doing it a little bit differently. So let's go. Hey, so I've been recording this too many times and I can tell you I'm slowly giving up, but I came up with different method, and I think the part 2 we're gonna dedicate to building the scene a little bit differently. I'm just gonna start with the Taiao plugin and I'm gonna use the tree preset, so it will immediately create one tree for me. Well, actually, let's go first over how it works. I'm just gonna delete leaves and branches, leave just the trunk, and go over the menu with you. So we can change our height. We have 3 tabs here: main, gravity, and materials. So you can just drag your materials from your material library. And if I go back to the main tab, you know, we have our height, we have our radius. We can change the profile using spline. So we can just create weird shape, as you can imagine. And then we have other sections here: trunk deformation, do the deformation using turbulence, and then as you're reducing the scale, then you get them more and more apparent. And then bias, it's where it's gonna happen on your tree. So if it's more closer to the roots or more up, so then you can twist it. You can create like an old twisted tree. And then you have a furling, which is if you go angle, you know, you can furl, and then bias will decide where it's again gonna happen on that tree, you know, closer to the roots or closer to the top. And so if I just go back to beginning, so we have that basic tree. So I was thinking, why don't we bring in the, you know, X particles and then let them follow the surface of that tree. So we're gonna build that tree and we're gonna go to plant layers all the way up, and we're gonna add more parts. So the way you can add parts is just here. You can add branches to this tree, and then you have again you have tab, but you have new tab here, distribution. So trunk has only 3, but the branches, they have a distribution as well. So you can select different modes for distribution. And then in the main, you can select the branch count, you know, segments, and then you can do the branch length and branch angle and angle variation. And then profile, again, using spline, you can change the profile into like super weird shapes. You have branch deformations. So again, it's the turbulence. You can just kind of mangle them. Bias will decide where it's going to happen, and then twist will twist it even further with some variation to it. Can create some crazy formal plant-like setting, but definitely interesting setting. So I really like what they came up with in Insydium. The next thing we can do is create secondary branches, which I didn't do in the part 1. So that was really important to make it actually tree-like looking. So I'll just add another branch. That's a branch 1, and maybe the angle will go slightly up. It's go up along the first branches, so it's always the parent that will, you know, determine what is up. Okay, so something like that. I already like that. So if I have something like that, maybe we could go bring in our X particle system. I'm gonna go to emitter straight away, change it to circle again, and go Y+, so we're facing upwards, and now it's just gonna go around our tree. So what we need for that, we need to go to modifiers and we need to do XP follow surface. And into that surface, we're gonna drag in our tree object. So you see, It's gonna follow beautifully all our tree. So I'm just gonna reduce the speed of that emitter. So go to XP emitter emission. We're gonna change it to like 60, right? So we're just gonna get easier, something more controllable. Yeah, maybe even 100. And now what we want is to go again into the generator and generate trails for our particles. So if I'm going to generate trails, I'm going to have to drag the emitter inside the trails. And now it's just going to be following our tree completely. So this is much better version of what I had before, and we can use this with our material much better. So I think that this is better version. I've been recording this tutorial so many times that I kind of decided to just completely ditch it, and let's do it this way. That's one of the things we have. Maybe if I go to XPath and I'm gonna increase that pull, maybe that will improve. We don't have these outstanding, or maybe even change the radius on that so it will start straight away from that trunk. Yeah. Nice one. So as you see, this is much better straight away. I'm gonna increase the amount of particles we have. So go to emission again and increase it to like 5,000. So we cover most of the tree actually, and we're gonna cover it. It's immediately slowed down, but that's fine. Okay, maybe that's too many. I don't want it to run that slow. Just gonna 2,000, and that's us. Yeah, that's faster. That's still good. So 2,000 it is, and we're gonna stop it somewhere around 120. Okay, so 120. Let's say that's it. And I'm gonna change my timeline to 120 frames and go to XP Trail and bake as Alembic. So okay, I have no idea where I'm just exporting it now. I'm gonna find it on a C folder or somewhere. So exporting that Alembic, and now I can turn off the XP system completely. So I'm just gonna completely turn it off, and now I have these XP trails. So I have a tree already in place and the trails around it. And I can use, don't use animation, use 120. And this is much better version as opposed to what we had in part one. I can now go and create a landscape, because that's where it will sit. It will sit on in the landscape. So something like that. Make it be higher actually, and drag it down. Now I'm gonna import our disk, which is gonna be our water. So disk will be 15,000 outer radius. Drag it a bit down. So we have a wee island. Now I import our dome light and apply my favorite dome light, the Night Dunes. I bought it on Sketchfab, so I'll include the link in the description if you wanna get it yourself. So we have that, and now I'm gonna apply the water material. I'm just gonna go materials and apply it to the, which will create reflective material. And only thing I'm gonna do to it is just gonna bring in max on noise and bring in bump map. So max on noise into bump map input and into the material as a overall bump input. This will create a wave-like surface, and only thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna increase the scale of the waves like that. So this way I get much more calmer water. I'm also gonna increase the intensity on the dome line because it was too dark before. So that immediately created almost everything for us. But what we need to do now, we need to go to the XP trail and apply the Redshift object tag, and I do cylinders again so we get the mesh. And now I'm gonna apply the material to it. We're gonna try again. We're gonna go material, apply to our XP trail, go to edit shader graph, and we're gonna create material blender and material, another material. So this will be our regular kind of fiber. I would go tinted glass with the blue tint and make it almost transparent, so 001, and then we're gonna plug it into our blender as a base color, so it will be like a glass fibers. And then we're gonna apply the other material, so it's gonna be layer color 1, and we bring trusty mix and noise to blend it together. So layer blend color 1. And here in the second material, we need to activate the emission. So we're gonna activate the emission and put it like a, I don't know, 6. It's pretty crazy. But then we're gonna increase the contrast on that noise, and that will chill this a bit. I'm gonna change the noise as well, the scale of it. And we can also make it horizontal like that. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Let's try different noises, how it's gonna look. They all kind of fairly stretch. I'm just gonna leave the normal scale values as before and just go through the noises. FBM, that will be some kind of natural, that will be actually kind of cool. And gonna animate it with the speed of 1 and reduce the brightness of it. Yes. So that's something that we can work with. So FBM, and now I'm gonna apply the material to the island as well. It's kind of all over the place, but bear with me. Just apply the material to the landscape and select the color from the base properties, select the color from our HDRI, so just have the same kind of vibe going around, and increase the roughness. And now we can go back to our plant tree and we can do another part. So we can add leaf and increase the count, and also go into our geometry and increase the size of it. Here we're gonna play with the leaf profile. I don't want to have too many leaves, so that's why I'm making them so big. Hold Control, create another point, and then drag this point down. So we've got the classic leaf profile. That immediately looks better to me. I'm gonna create another material and drag it onto our, I'm not gonna drag it anywhere. I'm just gonna call it leaf. This one I'm gonna call island, our trunk, water. Okay, so trunk apply, that's done. I'm gonna click on the tree, go to leaf, materials, and that's how easy, you just apply material like that, you just drag it in there. And now I can go and modify this material. Pardon, this is the wrong one. So this one, and go into emission tab, click on that blue color, maybe just drag it slightly different direction, maybe 4, so it's really, and then we're gonna do the bloom effect, reduce the softness. Okay, so that will be our tree of life. And the last thing I did in this scene was the 3D dust. So from Grayscale Gorilla, I have this folder of 3D dust. It's part of the subscription. It's just kind of basic random light. Put it in, and then you can go to frame like 300 and increase the scale. I can copy that and bring this back to my tree. Scale that even further, and then apply the same leaf material to our lights. Nice one. Now, if you don't have this kind of HDRI like I do, because it does a lot of job in terms of the scene, because I literally just place it there and it creates the landscape for me, so I don't have to really do anything apart from that. You can always create a plane. I saw it in a tutorial of Ross Mason, and you can download any image from Unsplash. You can go to Unsplash and then create the material, apply it to that plane, and open the shader graph and drag that texture in there. You can drag it out to the emission color. You set the emission weight to like 2, and now it's there. But then we need to check show that folder, and we're gonna check the details. So 4442 to 2961. I will never remember. 4442 2961. 4442 2961. 4442. So 4442 2961. And now it applies correctly. So if you don't have these, then feel free to use any of the Unsplash images and just play with that setting yourself. So I hope you like it. I was recording this so many times and I hated the video. You can just go like that, and then go to camera and go to focal length, and zoom in on a tree like that, just so it fits with your background. I know it's a it's a weird scene, but you know what I mean. Something like that, and create a fake 3D. I should probably use night scene for my. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and this is me. I'm just gonna be uploading it because no more re-recording this and being unhappy with my content. Have a good one. Thanks.